Customers. They're the lifeblood of every organization. They're our biggest asset. I mean, just think about it. No customers means no money. No money means no jobs. No jobs means no reason for our existence. And we need to exist. I'm Cheryl Crumb, and I'd like to welcome you to Rule of Crumb. And today what we're going to talk about is the customer experience. And what is it that we need to do to keep loyal customers? So let me share my screen with you. Customer experience. Customer experience is the combination of every touch point that a customer has with us. When we're looking to find them, when we're trying to find how to access them, when we're talking to them on the phone, when we're receiving emails, when we're getting product delivered, when they're following up with us or not following up with us, when we have a quarterly business review, when we make changes, when they handle the changes, all of these aspects, company tours, product tours, organizational visits, all of these add up to how a customer feels about us. And it's a spectrum. If we look at this spectrum, we see that very unhappy grrr face all the way to a delighted wow face. And we need to think of ourselves, to look at the customer experience. All of us are customers. We've been customers thousands, millions of times. We're customers when we go to a restaurant and a theater, and we travel in a hotel and an airline. We're customers when we go around the corner to pick up anything. And what is it that when we've been wowed, what is it that the service provider has said or done that's caused us to have this positive experience? And conversely, what is it when we're angry, annoyed, ticked off? What is it that the service provider has said or done? Well, consider that customers leave. Customers leave for a variety of reasons. And why might those be? Well, the life cycle tells us that people got to go sometimes, so a very small percentage pass away, others move, others are into friends, and certainly there are competitive reasons. But by far, the biggest reason why customers leave us and go elsewhere, 68%, according to one survey, said that they leave because of the attitude of indifference displayed by some employee. In other words, we don't think they care. They're treating. Now, does that mean that customer satisfaction is the goal? Well, I think not. Why? What's the matter with customer satisfaction? It's certainly better than dissatisfaction. But consider, customer satisfaction is like saying, yeah, it's okay. How was the food? It's okay. How was the movie? It's okay. Your room? Yeah, it was okay. And while, again, okay is not an alarming response, it's also one that causes us to be open to being seduced elsewhere. 80%, again, according to another survey, 80% of customers who are satisfied are willing and open to try someone else out. So the view of a departing customer is not only hard on this year's balance sheet, but on the decade to come. So let's take a closer look at the customer experience. The clock is running, and when customers are dissatisfied, it's because they're waiting, they're returning, they're explaining again and again. They have delays, they hear excuses, there are price increases, there are hassles. All of these tangible and intangible experience cause dismay, disgust, dissatisfaction. So let's take a look at the positive one. Again, the clock is running. The service provider knows their history, calls them by name, gives them options, solves some problems, stays with them, follows up with them afterwards. All of these experiences cement a feeling in us. So we as customers make our assessment based on two factors. The first factor are the expectations that we have, and then the perception that we have from the experience. And it can go in either direction. If we're dissatisfied, if we're unhappy, if we're angry, it's because we have high expectations and our reality, our experience is lower. There's a gap. And what the customer does is leave at the first opportunity they can. Now, satisfaction. Here are my expectations. Here's my perception of what happened. No gap. But again, 80% are willing to look elsewhere. So when we have a delighting experience, it's because our expectations are at this level, tangible and intangible, but our perception of the reality is so much higher. We have a positive gap. And with that positive gap, we're getting it because our customer is experiencing something that they didn't even know they needed. So in effect, what we're causing is a loyal customer. Now, what is it that customers remember? Well, I can assure you that they don't remember the room, food, experience was okay. It's totally forgettable. But the negatives and the positives stay in their memory forever. So our job is to find a way to delight our customers, because that's our real only advantage. We want to give them something they didn't know they needed. And to do this, we need to find out about them, ask questions. We need to find out about their problems, their pain points, their opportunities, and give them something that they didn't even ask for. We want to make life easier for them, and we want to help them personally win. How do we know what that is? We get to know them. Those of us who are not in the commodity business, we have a value personally that we can add to our products and services. And that is our job, to give our customers value that is higher than what they expected. Let me stop the screen share again. And I'd like to quote Maya Angelou. One of the things she said was, "You may forget what people said, you may forget what people did, but you will never forget how they made you feel." That's what we want to do with our customers, make them feel special and cared for. I'm Cheryl Crumb, and thank you for watching Rule of Crumb. See you next week.